Welcome to the 365 Performance Show with your host, Scott Dillon.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. So today's topic is this: what if it actually isn't true? So I'm sitting here driving along on the way to work, and I'm thinking about stuff that I want to do, things that I haven't done before, why I haven't done it. And here's the thing: I always have reasons for the things that I haven't accomplished or started or tried to do yet. Reasons. Also known as excuses. But I guess as individuals, we don't like to hear us say to ourselves that they're excuses. We like the word reasons. But here's the thing: doesn't matter if it's in a relationship you have with someone, or if you maybe you haven't started training yet, or you are training and you're not getting the results that you're after. We always give ourselves some justification for why we haven't actually achieved what we're after yet. Sometimes we project onto ourselves. We might say something like, yeah, I'm too old for that, or I've got a sore elbow, or I don't have enough money, or I don't have enough time. Or maybe we project outwardly. We might say something like, oh, they don't support me enough, or they don't know what they're doing, or I just haven't found the right place yet, or this or that, or this or that, or this or that. But power comes when we can hear what we're actually saying to ourselves, shift that to perhaps the opposite version, and begin to find facts that can actually prove that true. So I want to give you an example. An example could be someone that is being kind of active. Think about this as possibly a lady or a man that's been kind of healthy, active, going to the gym all their life. So they've been going to the gym for the past 15 years or so, and maybe right now they're 40. They've just been active at the gym. So they might jog on the treadmill, they might lift some weights on the machine, they might do some sit-ups, and every now and then they might go for a walk with their friends. They eat fairly healthy, they're not overweight maybe, and they're kind of just like in good shape. But they're about 40 or 45. And they have this thought: I want to do an Ironman, or I want to do a marathon. Something that like pops into their head, like something that they actually would like to do and accomplish. Sounds good. They know there's a lot of work involved, but then straight away this little story comes into their head, like, I'm too old. Perfectly okay to think that. Obviously you are older relative to a 20-year-old person, but when you begin to just hear that little story, that little reason that comes into your head, something that doesn't serve you, because obviously by you thinking and telling yourself that you're too old, you can't do it, you're never going to actually do it. But if you can actually hear it, let it serve you, and then flip it around and then write down, I can do the marathon, the Ironman, whatever. I'm not too old, which would obviously be the opposite version of the original. And then just find little facts to prove it true. And it's a really, really simple exercise, but straight away it begins to put you in a place where you can actually find some truth in it. Obviously, if you did this, probably one of the first things you do would go on little Mr. Google and type in something: oldest person to complete an Ironman, oldest person to complete a marathon, and you'd see that there's probably a bunch of crazy lunatics that are probably 90 or something that have done it in this day and age. But it just begins to break down that little wall that we have. Like, I know for myself personally, I think it was 5 years ago I did a marathon. I never ran anything in my entire life further than probably 400 or 800 meters. But one day I was on Google and something little popped up. Some lady, I think she was a 50-year-old lady with 5 kids, completed a marathon. I wasn't even thinking about doing a marathon because I thought I had no capacity to do that whatsoever. But by me, when I was on Google, on news.com.au or something, and I saw that, it just broke down this belief that I had that I couldn't do something, and it created space that I could actually have some belief in myself. And I see this time and time again, because it could be, maybe it's a case of someone that hasn't really trained before, isn't really active, and maybe they have bad ankles, a bad knee, and a sore back, and they're always tired. This person, they obviously probably aren't feeling the best, they're in pain all the time. And in their head, the last thing they probably feel like doing is going for a long run, doing a whole bunch of squats and burpees, and they have every single right to feel that way. then a story or a reason would come up would be something along the lines of, I can't exercise or lose weight because I'm in so much pain and I've got no energy, which is kind of true. But then if they begin to shift that story just for a moment and find the opposite version, which in that case would be something along the lines of, I can lose weight even though I'm in pain and don't have much energy. And then they can begin to find little facts and truths in that little sentence that they can begin to have some belief in themselves. Straight away, by thinking of it in that aspect, how can I actually get out of pain, begin to lose a bit of weight, begin to have a bit more energy? Well, they could possibly work on their nutrition, they could work with like a personal trainer that can work around their injuries and ailments, so they can do stuff that doesn't cause any harm and just make slow, steady progress like they should in any actual exercise regime. But by doing that, it just creates this little space and gap in our brains that allows the possibility to open up. Could be something else, like maybe you've been in a relationship and you haven't had much success. You could have just been going through a divorce, or maybe, I don't know what you're going through. But in that case, you can, when you leave something like that, you end up, in most 9 times out of 10, you end up feeling a bit low, like you're never going to find someone. And then you can actually end up looking into yourself with shame and guilt. But if you ask yourself a different question, like opposite version of that, which would be something along the lines of, I am going to find someone, people do love me, it allows you to create a space and see in your life all the beauty that you do have in there that you're possibly not seeing right now. And every single one of it, doesn't matter how good you're feeling today, how much you've accomplished in the past couple of weeks, how good you're feeling, we always have these little stories and reasons in our life that constantly pop up. So I want you to have a think today, where in your life are you telling yourself reasons for you not getting what you actually want? What's the reason that you're telling yourself that you can't do this certain thing? And most importantly, I want you to flip it around. I want you to write down what the opposite version of that is and find some facts and truths that are out there that prove that story true. Hope this helps and it can get you moving more towards getting what you want. And I hope you have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon.